Before we get into the video, I wanted to do a little public service announcement that this video was filmed in the span of 2.5 weeks ish. And at first, it was supposed to be only read only listening to audiobooks for a week, but it quickly got derailed, and it's going to be uh Serpent and the Wings of Night reading blog. So whenever you hear me say something about I'm gonna be listening to audiobooks for a whole week or blah blah blah, just ignore it, okay? It's not that was the intention of the video. It's not what it's ended up being. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And now we can get into the actual video. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nevin, and in this week's video I thought I would change it up a little bit. So instead of reading, like physically reading, I'm going to be listening to audiobooks for the whole week. Well, it's going to be a little bit less than a week, but the point still stands. I'm going to be only listening to audiobooks for almost a week. And the first one I thought I would start with, it's actually a pretty long one, and I don't know if I shoot myself on the foot with this one. Um, but yeah, the book is, let me check. The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, because it's on Audible. And I thought, you know what? Why not? I was really in the mood for a fantasy read, and I've seen that book physically, and it's like really big, and I would be really intimidated having to read that physically. Um, so I thought listening to it might make it better. I started today, and I'm already 10 chapters into the book, which is pretty good if you ask me. I'm also listening to it I'm also listening to it at like 1.4 speed. So yeah, that helps a lot. Um but yeah, the whole premise of the book, from what I've gathered, is we have our main character whose name I forgot. I'm pretty sure the next update I give you guys I'm gonna remember her name, but for right now I forgot her name. But she lives in a world where there are vampires and other creatures, and she's a human. And when she was a child, she was adopted by this vampire called Vincent. I don't know why I remember his name, but I don't remember her name. But yeah, she was adopted by this vampire called Vincent, and she grew up being protected by him. And yeah, so essentially we have um she grew up, and now she's 23 years old, and she enters this competition, which usually is only vampires that enter the competition. The competition is a little bit Hunger Game-ish, in the sense that during 4 months you are fighting for your life, literally, and only one stands at the end, and the one that essentially wins, the one that it's alive, they get a wish conceded. They get a wish granted to them by the goddess Nyaxia, which she's the goddess that created the vampires, if I'm not mistaken. We also have magic, because the vampires also, for some odd reason, can use magic, which, okay, I guess, and they have wings. And there's this thing where they can kind of hide them or show them. I still don't really know how that works, but they have wings. She enters the competition um, sooner than she expected. She's caught off guard because she was expecting to have a couple more days to prepare, but she didn't have them. She just was thrown into the competition essentially. The first time, I guess, she was attacked by demons, which I still don't know how that works, but she said something about those demons being vampires before being demons. So, yeah, I guess vampires can be turned into demons. I honestly, you guys, I don't know. I would say, this is my first proper fantasy read, and I'm still getting myself situated in the world and what everything means. But essentially, that's where I am. Has spent the first, she has passed the first day, I think it is, and now she's back with her, and now she's injured because she was injured by the demons, and she is back in her father's palace. And I think my theory is that it's not like, my theory is that it's not a continuous thing, because it's this is happening essentially in something like a coliseum where people are watching them fight till death. And I think they kind of have, like, one day they have to survive for however many hours, and then they go back to their homes or whatever the hell they want to go back to. So they go back, and then they do another day of fighting, and do that essentially every day for 4 months. I That's my theory as to how that is gonna work. I'm probably wrong though, but it would be the only explanation as to why she's back in the palace. So, yeah, those are all my updates. It's 7 p.m. right now. I'm gonna. I have to fill in my journals for the day. My Hobonichi cousin and my Hobonichi Techo. I have to fill those in for the day. But after I'm done with that, I'm going to keep listening to the book and see where it goes, because I'm actually really enjoying it. Um so yeah, that's my update for right now.
The next day. Much later.
Hi, I'm I'm back with another update. So I'm on chapter 26 of The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and that means I'm halfway through the book, which is amazing. It really hasn't taken me that long to get to the halfway mark. So, a little recap of what has gone on. In these couple chapters, I learned the name of our female main character, which is Araya. Araya? I think it's Araya. Whatever. So she she's the main character, as I said, and I have a little bit more grasp about the Hunger Game ish type of competition that is going on. So basically, they have different trials, and during each trial, you kind of fight till the death, and then you have the last two trials. So for the second to last trial, you kind of have to have alliances because half of the people are going to die. So you need an alliance with whoever, you need an alliance. You need an alliance to be able to make it through that part of the trial. Not that part of the trial, to make it through that trial. And then the last part is a fight till the death until only one stands. You're gonna have to fight the people you previously made an alliance with. So that's interesting. And there is there are like a couple weeks or a week, like there is time in between each trial. And right now we are before the second to last trial, which is called the moon trial. Aurea, Aurea. Like her name is written with an O, so I don't know if it's Aurea. I'm gonna call her Aurea. She has made an alliance with two other characters. Their names are Rain and Misha, and I love Misha. She's a really they're both vampires, by the way. And they both use magic. But Misha is such a lovely, bubbly character. Like, she's the perfect example of a sunshine character. And I love that during all the grief we're going through and all the death and all the horrors, we have a little bit of sunshine. And that is Misha. And then main the other character we're introduced to, which is Rain. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the love interest. He's kind of moody. He's a lot more reserved. I wouldn't say he's grumpy because he's really not, but yeah, he's a lot more reserved. We have like Vincent, which, as I said previously, is Aurea's father. He's not really happy with the alliance Aurea has formed because of some type of different, like, because of there are different types of vampires, and apparently he doesn't like the type of vampire Rain is, so he's not happy about that alliance. I don't know. I promise you guys, I'm actually listening to the book, but talking about it from memory, it's a lot harder than it seems. So yeah, that's the update. Um, because I want to update you guys as much as possible, but at the same time, I don't want to say anything that it's gonna be a spoiler. Like, I want to keep spoilers. I'm gonna have some type of spoiler because I'm like telling you guys the plot as we go along, but I want to keep them as minimal as possible. So yeah, I think that's all for today's update. And I don't think I'm gonna have more time to listen to it today because we're actually going to a restaurant for dinner. It's a Lebanese restaurant, and I have to get ready and we have to get there and all of that. So yeah, I'm gonna continue listening to it tomorrow, and you're probably gonna have an update from me then.
The next day.
Hello, guys. Good morning. Well, I was gonna say good morning, but I caught myself. It's not morning anymore. It's like 1 p.m., so it's afternoon. So good afternoon. And yeah, first of all, I am I am wearing the same tracksuit I was wearing yesterday. Just mind your business, okay? I don't. Yeah, just mind your business. Um. So today is Monday. This morning I went and got my nails done. They are looking like that. I really like them. I don't know how I feel about the little. I don't know how I feel about the glitter, but I do really like them. And yeah, so I haven't listened to The Serpent and the Wings of Night since the last update I gave you guys, which was yesterday evening, because when we got when we got back home from dinner, it was already like 11:30 p.m. I was so tired. There was no way I was going to listen to an audiobook, and I was supposed to fill in my journals because I have two journals that I keep up with every day. I'm going to show you guys. So I have the Hobonichi Techo. This is the A6 size and it's the One Piece edition, which I love. And this one I use as my mental health journal because it really helps me understand where I am mentally every day, and then I can report that to my therapist because I'm having a lot of memory problems at the minute. And the second one I have, it's the Hobonichi Cousin, and this one is just my memory keeper. So yeah, I have a third one. I have a Sterling Ink common planner as well, but that's just my YouTube planner. And yeah, so I didn't do that. I didn't listen to the book. And right now I have to do some laundry. I have to catch up on my journals, and maybe if I have time listen to a little bit more of the book. I want to listen to at least 2 chapters today because we have a NBA game this evening. So yeah, before that I want to get some reading done. I need to get some reading done. But yeah. And actually I was watching the some of the clips from I was watching back some of the clips from yesterday, and you would think that because I'm listening to the book, I would have like a better understanding of how to pronounce the names because they are being said to me over and over again. But I was having such a hard time pronouncing the female main character's name, and I don't even know why I was having such a hard time. So yeah, that's something I noted, and it was kind of funny to me. But yeah, that's my update for right now. So I'm gonna go do everything that told you guys I have to do, and I don't know when I'll see you guys again. Okay, you guys might be wondering, Naveen, where the hell are you? I don't know if I told you this or not, but my parents are here for the holidays and we rented a car, so that's where I am. And I'm here because I have to get my nails redone because like I told you guys I got them done yesterday. But these two nails that have the design on them I don't really like, so I'm just gonna get the cherry red on all of them and get that done with. And yeah, what else did I want to tell you guys? I wanted to update you about the book, but I don't remember what the hell I wanted to tell you. So yeah, this is my first experience driving here alone, and it was actually pretty easy. It wasn't as anxiety inducing as I thought it was gonna be. So, yeah, I now have to shut up and get inside. But yeah, while I'm getting these nails fixed, I'm gonna think about what the hell I wanted to say because I completely forgot.
2,000 years later.
Hey, hey, how y'all doing?
Hello, guys. It's been a while. The last clip you saw was like a week ago. So, yeah, I shame apparently don't know her. Like, we've never met. But yeah, I'm so sorry. It's just my parents were here for the holidays and we were just doing a lot of stuff. I managed to film some of the things we did, but yeah, no, it was bad. I I just I don't know. I didn't I wanted to spend time with them and not just focus and not just picking up the camera and making sure I was filming every little thing we were doing. So yeah, um what I do come with is updates. Those I do have. Um let me check my Audible. So, I'm on chapter nothing. I'm on part 6, which is called New Moon. And the updates I have is are the updates I have are and I have some updates. So I finished part 3. I'm on, as I said, I'm on part not 3. What? So I'm on part 6, which is the second to last part of the book because the book is divided by parts. And yeah, part 6 is called New Moon, which I thought it was the name of the last trial we have. The last trial we had because part 5 is called Half Moon, and I'm pretty sure that's not the name of the trial. Whatever. So I finished part 5. I'm on chapter 42. And yeah, there has been a lot of things going on. So let's recap a little bit. Aurelia and Rain. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna do this recap because I don't want to give too much spoilers. But I don't know what would count as a spoiler, what won't. So I'm just gonna be as vague as I can possibly be while still making sense. So we have Aurelia and Rain training together. That way, when they compete in the New Moon trial, which is the trial that they have to compete in pairs, they can actually be of benefit to each other and not just like a nuisance. So yeah, they have been competing, not competing, they have been training. And one thing that I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, so if you don't want to hear it, just skip forward. But as I said before, there's some type of magic in this world. And as far as we know, only vampires possess this magic. But but Aurea, she has magic. And at first she okay, so this next part is I wouldn't say it's a spoiler because we know this from the very beginning of the book. It's just I don't know if it's a spoiler and you don't want to hear it, or if it's way more information that you want, just skip forward, I guess. But as I said before, um, there's magic in this world, and as far as we know, only vampires possess the magic, or the majority, or they are the ones that have the really, they are the ones that are really good at magic. But as we know from the beginning of the book, Aurea has at least a little bit of magic she knows how to use. And while training with Rain, she discovers, well, we discover that her magic is actually more powerful than everyone originally thought. So, yeah, she has a lot of magic in her. Nobody knows where it comes from, but she has it, and it's gonna come in handy in the future for sure. And yeah, they are training together, they get to know each other's moves, and they basically get to form a really good alliance before the trial. But continuing on, the trial goes on, they fight, and before fighting, they go through these, like, I wouldn't know how to call it. They go before. This is gonna be a pain in the ass to edit because I'm not making much sense. But yeah. So moving on to the actual trial. Right before starting it, they go through this ceremony thingy situation where they are kind of bound to each other. So every pair is bound. Not every pair, so every person is bound to their partner that they're going to compete with. And they're not only like mentally bound where they can listen each other's thoughts and feel each other's emotions, they are also bound physically. If one person is being hurt, their partner is gonna feel it the same way. And I actually really like how, because at first, when we got into, when we got through the, uh, at first I wasn't sure how I was, how, at first I didn't know how I felt about the binding thing. I thought, I was like, why though? I don't know. How are we gonna execute this? Is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? What the fuck am I talking about? At first, I didn't know how to feel about the binding, but I actually really enjoyed the way the author executed it. It was really, really, really fun. As I said, it's my first fully fantasy book, so I'm not really used to the fighting scenes and all that, but that fighting scene, like that trial as a whole, was probably one of my favorite parts from the book, just because of how good the binding and the fighting was executed. I loved it. It was really fun, and it was also high stakes. Um well, I wouldn't know, like, how high can the stakes be when they are the female main character and the male main character? I don't know, but they are high because they are literally fighting for their lives. But at the same time, I'm like, they're not gonna die. There's they're not. They're simply not. Well, there was one part where I was, well, while I'm saying this, there was one part where I was like, okay, so it is actually really high stakes now. I get it. But yeah, it was really fun. I loved it. And they both passed the trial. And after that, they kind of start getting closer because they they live together, so they live together. They don't know when the next trial is going to be. And it's kind of a weird situation because it's like you're getting closer to this person. You're actually getting to really know them and maybe like their personality, or like how they are as a person. But at the same time, you know that the next time you fight, that person is not your ally anymore. That person is going to be one of many who's going to try to kill you. And if you want to win, you're going to have to kill them. So, yeah, it's really intense in that sense. And as much as for me personally, Aurea can sometimes be a little bit annoying in the sense that she's so stubborn, and she's so fixated on winning and not trusting anyone and all of that, which I get. That's the way she was raised. And you're not going to change that in a couple weeks. I totally get that. But it can get a little bit annoying at times. Yeah, they were getting closer until the palace, they refer to as the palace, decided to cut their supplies. So they have food, but they don't have blood. So all these vampires are gonna be feral once the new trial starts, because gonna wanna want they're gonna be they're gonna be starving, and that's gonna make them feral. So yeah, we have that situation going on. And I think 3 weeks pass where that's the situation. They don't have any blood. Most of them have already gone feral. And Rain is on the path of that. But they figure it out. I'm not gonna say how. Maybe you you can guess how. But yeah, they figure it out. And they are communicated. And just as they figured that situation out, they are communicated. Is that right? They announce that the trial, the last one, it's not gonna be however many weeks from now that y'all thought it was gonna be. It's actually going to be right now. So gather your things and just get ready to fight till to death. And I'm really excited for the last trial. Actually, like, I want to know what goes on. I've been really enjoying the fighting scenes in this book, which is something I didn't think I would enjoy, but I've really been enjoying. And yeah, I want to see where it goes from here. Um but I do have a feeling, since it's a series, it's gonna end in a cliffhanger. And depending on the type of cliffhanger that it is, I'm gonna wanna immediately go into the second book. That's my update for now. Hello, guys, I'm back. This is gonna be my final update on The Serpent and the Wings of Night because I have finally finished the book. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna go too much into in depth. I'm not gonna go too in depth about what happened in the last couple chapters because there are going to be spoilers everywhere and I don't want to give them. So, yeah, trust me, it's there's a lot that happens in the last couple of chapters. I was surprised by most of all. I would say, yeah, I was surprised by everything. I wasn't expecting, well, not everything. I was expecting some of the things that happened, but majority of the things that happened I was not expecting. So yeah, I'm not giving it a 5 star because it didn't have that 5 star feeling, and I'm not giving it anything more than a 4 because at times I felt like I was really annoyed by some of the characters and I just wanted them to like shut up and like continue with like the plot. But yeah, that's the main reason why it's just a 4 star. But it's pretty easy to read. It has a good world building, as if I know anything about world building. But yeah, I think it has a pretty good world building. It it doesn't it doesn't drag at all. Like it's pretty fast paced in my opinion. I don't think the ending is a cliffhanger personally. I'm not like rushing to read book number 2. I want to read book number 2 because I want to know where the characters go, how they evolve, where the plot goes. So I'm interested in that, but I'm not like rushing to read book number 2. So yeah, I would recommend it, and I think I would recommend this book to people that are just starting to get into fantasy because it was pretty easy to grasp the concepts of what made this world what it is. You know, it wasn't hard at all for me. So I think it's a good starting point if you want to start um reading, if you want to get started into fantasy. I think it's a pretty good starting point. Um I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say. Um I don't think I have. I think I have said everything I wanted to say. If you guys have any recommendations that you want me to do a specific reading vlog of, just leave them down below in the comments and I would more than happily read the book and do a reading vlog about that book and let you guys know my opinion. So yeah, I think this is all from me for this week, and I'll see you guys on my next video.